Hey everybody, Paul Cram here. I was talking to a friend of mine last night about a book that I picked up at the library. Actually, she introduced it to me originally, and for some reason yesterday when I was emailing some work colleagues and stuff, the topic came up of going back into the workforce, and this past year and a half, everybody has been mostly working remotely or working from home. And this colleague of mine, she was talking about how, um, she's splitting her time between going into work and working from home still, and how much work she did not get done when she was, surrounded by colleagues because of the chit chat and just different things like that. So it made me think of this book, The Power of When. And, I had kind of glanced through this a long time ago. A friend of mine, she had mentioned she had mentioned some of the different traits that are presented in the book. Basically, the book talks about your chronotype, which, for those of you that do not know, I did not know what a chronotype was. It deals a lot with like your circadian rhythm, when you go to bed and when you wake up, and kind of what that naturally feels like or when that is for you. And it takes each of those and kind of puts it into a trait, personality trait, kind of is what it reminds me of. Those personality tests you take, and it's like you are whatever, whatever, whatever. This one specifically groups people into wolf, lion, dolphin, bear, um, for different reasons and things like that. But this is a little bit beside the point of what I wanted to totally talk about, because it made the book makes sense, but the conversation went into an interesting spot, and I wanted to just rant slightly about it because my friend, she was talking about this book and then productivity, and she mentioned, she's like, I think it was actress Mindy. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna kill this last name in a bad way. Mindy Kaling. I should have looked this up before I started this, but and she was just saying that it was either her or was somebody else, a bigger name Hollywood, actor, and they were saying how they work 16 hours a day, every day, all the time, gung ho, and they're making it happen. And when I hear stuff like that, and I did on the phone, I was like, I hope you can hear my eyes rolling through the phone. Um, because it's like, wait a minute, what? You work 16 hours a day. Okay. And I know that it's not just actors that have said that. I think there's even businessmen, where they're like, I work like 16 to 19 hours every single day. And I hear that and I think about it and I'm like, something about this is I'm so skeptical. Like, really? So 19 hours, there's 24 hours in a day. So you're working for 19 hours, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So you have 5 hours to do things like brush your teeth and wake up, sleep, buy groceries, those kind of things that, I mean, maybe you don't do them on the work week, but yeah, do you not brush your teeth during the work week? I don't know. So I'm extremely skeptical, and I had to think about it, and I was chatting with my friend, and it was just that thing where it's like, I sometimes, there has been known some people from Los Angeles that I've talked to where I'm like, you're stretching the truth. And not just people from Los Angeles, but for some reason, a lot of actors that I know there, I'm like, did that really happen? Um, so this notion that you're working for 16 hours a day, it started to get my brain thinking about it. And I was like, I know, like, for me as an actor, when I have worked on a film, generally it takes, 2 to 6 weeks of filming to finish a feature. And I'm like, yeah, there has been days like singular, or a period of, 3 or 4 days where it's like, yeah, you're on set for 13 to 15 hours. Sure, absolutely. Or 16 or 19, whatever. But it's not supposed to be the norm, and it's not necessarily the norm. Um, there's a reason for that. No, I'll tell you why. For me, fortunately, why there's a reason that doesn't generally happen. Um, but I was like, oh my gosh, like that just sounds off to me. For one, it doesn't sound healthy, but for two, I'm like, it just doesn't sound like they're either A, working hard, or B, like, are you counting? Like, I woke up at 8 a.m. And it's like, are you counting the time you woke up and then the time your head hit the pillow again as like your work? I don't know. Something about it didn't add up. So I being when I get something into my head, I had to go and look around online a little bit. And I just, searched for like working for long hours. And I was so impressed by an article written by Jeffrey James. He's a contributing editor to Inc. magazine. And the headline on his article was, "Anyone who claims to work 18 hours a day is either lying or stupid." Uh, and he goes on to explain why. Actually, there's studies have shown that like after about 10 hours, you're not getting work done anymore. You're just creating more work for yourself. But he dives into like some deeper thoughts with that. And one of them I was like, yeah, that tracks. Where, if he just said in his experience, a lot of the times it's people that are like, yeah, I put in, 20 hours a day. Those are the people that generally work in an open office type setting, and they're chit-chatting with their colleagues, and they're doing all these things, and they're kind of really good at putting up smoke screens that I'm so busy, so working, so busy. um yeah, it begs the question though, because I do know that there's a lot of people out there that do work really crazy long hours. I just wonder how sustainable it is. um yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think I might get some hate mail and some hate notes from from this. But back to something I had mentioned too, like why is it that, it's not the norm for me to work on a film set for 16-hour days? It used to be the norm for me. That would definitely be, when I was first starting out as an actor, working on non-union projects, there was a lot of that would happen where it's like, oh my gosh, we have to make this happen. We have to go, 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 go. But one thing that I really appreciate about the union, SAG-AFTRA, that I am a member of, yay, is that, working conditions like that, you aren't allowed to do that. And if you do, which, it happens every now and then, where it's like, okay, we're going past the 10-hour, 12-hour mark, and we're keeping you longer than we should. There's it's kind of monetary, which generally in in how things are set up, whenever there's a monetary penalty or whatever like that, generally people try to keep a little bit more on track. Why this matters is the money piece is nice, but for myself, like, I was working on a film in Wisconsin, and the production, oh gosh, we were shooting really late, and like where my hotel was literally like I think an hour and a half away from their the location. And there's just a lot of things that are really great that SAG-AFTRA the union does for performers like myself, which, like, my day is not done when I am done on set. My day is done when I arrive back at my hotel. So they have to factor in that I have like this hour and a half drive from set back to my hotel. Why does this matter? Why does this type of a thing, why is it thought about that way? Because I think it's in the contract. It's, I want to say it's 10 hours. I think it's either 8 or 10 hours before I can be called back to on set. Um, and before people get really like sticklers, like, oh my gosh, like you should just be grateful for work. I am so grateful for work. I want to do really amazing, good work, and being able to be well rested and alert is so important for a lot of the work that I do. Specifically for anybody that's watching, I'm sure that there's some of you that have no idea who the heck I am. Um, which makes sense because a lot of the stuff that I do it has been fairly low budget. There's been some big budget stuff in there too, but I play a lot of bit parts. I play a lot of character pieces. I play a lot of really dark, really generally physically taxing characters where I'm either, playing somebody that has broken limbs or things like that, or, just dealing with a lot of physicality or just, mental craziness, you know what I mean? Literally. That kind of stuff is really wearing, but it also, like, a lot of the physical stuff requires a lot of stunts, and just when someone is tired, it is so dangerous because it's dangerous to me, it's dangerous to the people that I'm working with. So that really starts to matter. It's like, okay, yeah, I did this film. I'm grateful to be a part of it, but I want to be safe when I'm doing it, and being able to be well rested has a big part to play in that. Um, so I'm kind of going off on all these tangents. I hope that people understand kind of where my thought process is going with this. I'm curious to hear, is anybody out there cringing and hating what I'm kind of driving at, or some of the questions I'm mentioning? I'm also curious. I hope I'm not coming off as like I've never worked, like I didn't want to work. I don't want to work hard. I love to work hard, and I love to work productive. Like when I'm working, it's like, yeah, I want to do. There's a really great book that I have to read. It's called Deep Work. It's like I want to really focus and drive in and do really good focused work. You cannot do that for 16 hours a day. That's not physically possible. It's possible maybe once here or there. That is not possible to do 5 days a week for years and years and years. That kind of focus and that kind of energy and that kind of drive doesn't exist. What do you think? Do you think I'm crazy? Um, I kind of hope some of you do. Anyways, let me know. Curious, give me some feedback, give me some thoughts. I'm sure that some people probably have a lot of stories about when they were, like in college or something like that, and some of those all-nighters. But again, did you do that 5 days a week for the entire year? And if you did, dear God, I hope that you've got some rest since then. All right. Talk to you all later. Bye.